So during the primary, we're starting our own pledge, pinning presidential candidates down on the issues that matter most in a segment we're calling Queen for a Day. Senator Sanders has agreed to be the 5th candidate to face the gauntlet. Are you ready? Okay, sounds ready.
Sure.
Sounds ready. First question. On day 1, do you pledge to eliminate daylight
What do you mean? I win and I get no prize? Boy, oh boy, a day in the life of Bernie Sanders.
On day 1, do you pledge to eliminate daylight savings and never let the American people see dark before 5 p.m. again?
Well, I thank you for this question, John. For far too long, American families have not been able to save as much daylight as their parents and their grandparents were. I think we need a mass movement for people to come together to be able to change the regulation of daylight and, yes, force the Wall Street bankers to allow us to save as much daylight as we need.
It's day 1 of a Bernie Sanders presidency. What should America do with all the people who are really into paintball?
Well, paintball has its place. I think that paintball should be tightly regulated. I've been criticized for being, for a leftist, a little bit too in bed with the large paintball gun manufacturers. But I will remind you, I got a D- rating from the National Paintball Association. They have no place in my inauguration.
What should the default mustard be when someone says with mustard? Yellow mustard or spicy brown mustard?
Well, when I think spicy, I first of all, thank you for this question. John, I treasure the ability to answer this question that you have given me. I think it's a privilege. When I think of spicy brown mustard, I and a lot of Americans think of Grey Poupon, which immediately makes me think of two, Bentleys, two members of the 1%, probably the top 10% of the top 1%, handing spicy brown mustard from window to window. In my view, and when I say that, what I always mean is that's the way I see it, and therefore that's the way it is. In my view, yellow mustard is the only kind of mustard that anybody needs.
What kind of Jew from Brooklyn is going to come on this stage and tell me that yellow mustard is the mustard?
Well, let me finish.
A little too much fucking Vermont for you,
Let
sir.
me finish. Okay, if you're gonna try to turn Brooklyn against Vermont, then maybe you should. I've got news. You got a place in the Hillary Clinton 2016 campaign. I don't care for mustard myself. I eat entirely oatmeal.
You're texting with your Vice President, Andrew Yang. You sent a really funny joke. Would you rather he writes the word ha 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 or do that iMessage thing where you can add a ha ha bubble to the text?
Oh, sure. If you double click on a thing and it says you got an exclamation point or there's a heart or a ha ha ha, a couple of little things. Well, here's how I see it. If Andrew Yang, and I am open to the possibility he could be my vice president because we might enter a divided convention. If the Democratic establishment forces Andrew Yang on their reluctant nominee, Bernie Sanders, in a divided, contentious convention, if Andrew Yang is my Lyndon Johnson, then yes, I think that it's entirely appropriate to double-click on an iMessage. However, he will never be able to communicate with me that way because I use a jitterbug and I am proud of it.
Next question, Senator Sanders. Taking clothes taking clothes right from the. There's just no reason to cough right in the mic, Senator.
And yet, for far too long, in my view, the the elite of this country has been encouraging us to cough off microphone and therefore stifle exactly how bad things have gotten.
I see. Next question, and you need to be honest with the American people. Who would win in a no-holds-barred street fight? You, Joe Biden, or Guy Pearce in character as Old Wayland from Prometheus?
Well, Prometheus is a fantastic, if lopsided film, imagining the possibility that human beings are descended from a higher alien culture, and I have to respect the vision of, it was Ridley Scott, I have to respect the vision of Ridley Scott. I think it's a greater work than some people say Gladiator was.
Correct.
But, look, I know how to handle Biden and Guy Pearce in the arena, if you will. You gotta headbutt Guy Pearce and go for Biden's throat. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. You gotta be me, and I will bite. I will bite. If it's just me and no rules, I will bite Joe Biden.
You'll bite him.
I will bite. I will be biting Biden.
Do you have a specific part of him you'd go for first?
Well, I don't want to hurt the guy too much. I'm gonna bite him on his hand.
You're gonna bite him in his hair.
I said hand.
Head.
Son of a
oh,
bitch.
Sorry.